When it comes to running fast, the acceleration phase is arguably the most important part of the sprint. And in nearly every single sport, increasing your speed rapidly can be the difference between scoring a point or losing the game. According to Olympic sprint coach Tom Tellez, during a 100-meter sprint, the acceleration is 64% of the race. In this video, I'm going to show you...
Wait. There's a lot of videos on this already.
For this reason, I did further research and found 2 exercises you probably haven't heard of. I even included over half a dozen research papers to support the effectiveness of these exercises.
Hey, welcome to the Sprint Project. This is episode 3 of Sprint Science Explained. Let's get into it. First exercise is 3 steps with tape. This is an exercise that Carl Lewis performs with the Houston University track team. Carl Lewis is a 9 times Olympic gold medalist. As a coach, he's helped take his team to over 10 championships. 3 steps with tape is what I call this exercise because it involves placing 3 pieces of tape on the track. The first one 3 feet from the starting line, the second one an additional 4 feet, and the third one an additional 5 feet. The exact distance between each tape might vary depending on the sprinter. Each tape serves as a marker for where the sprinter should strike the ground upon exiting the starting blocks. Essentially, the idea here is to set a reference for the sprinter to take larger and larger steps in the early acceleration, also known as a drive phase. Because a common problem in this part of the sprint is to take small, quick steps. Intuitively, it feels like the correct thing to do from the start to run faster. However, in reality, this is counterproductive. In order for us to run faster, we have to put a lot of force into the ground. According to this study, high anterior posterior forces lead to superior acceleration. Anterior posterior is just a fancy way of saying from the front to the back. Thing is, to achieve these high forces at a horizontal angle, we must take big steps with a significant forward lean. Because imagine the complete opposite. A sprinter begins to accelerate from the start with an upright position and takes very small, quick steps. First, the force would be more vertical than horizontal. 2, because the foot is spending less time on the ground, there is less force going into the ground. For this reason, we can use a 3 tape exercise to train ourselves to achieve these large, powerful steps in early acceleration, which requires minimal equipment. Technically, instead of this, we can use branches and a measuring app on our smartphone. Can be done nearly anywhere, trains the early acceleration phase, and is easy enough for a beginner, yet also useful for an advanced sprinter. The second exercise are isometric mid-thigh pulls. I'll admit, before making this video, I never heard of these either. I have a huge list of acceleration exercises, but I did further research for this video and found these in multiple studies. That's why it's called the Sprint Project, because this is an ongoing process of learning where we learn together. Based on research, isometric mid-thigh pulls are correlated with 5 and 20-meter sprints. In fact, I found multiple studies which said the same. Someone familiar with this exercise might say it's used for strength testing and not for training. The argument being that the full range of motion exercises transfer over better to complex, high coordination movements like sprinting. However, isometric exercises like the isometric mid-thigh pull do have their own unique benefits. Studies show isometric training can be used to target a specific weak point within a range of motion. According to the International Journal of Sports Medicine, isometric training is more effective in maximum force development at a specific angle compared to a dynamic movement. Even if the angle isn't 100% identical, literature suggests it could have benefits of 15 degrees on either side of the training angle. Here's how to perform them. Feet hip width apart, hands holding the bar right outside your hips. Knees slightly bent, bend at the hips to place the barbell underneath the safety bars. Press the feet powerfully into the ground to suddenly generate tension against the safety bars and hold. Science suggests that to increase max strength, isometric exercises should be performed at 80 to 100% effort for 1 to 5 seconds for a total of 30 to 90 seconds per training session. Compared to the first exercise, this one requires a fair amount of equipment, although in my opinion, it's worth it. It's easy enough for a beginner, yet also useful for an advanced sprinter. These are only 2 exercises out of many that I found through my research and testing since I created the Sprint Project. In the future, I plan on releasing something to share everything I know about sprint training step by step. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments, and if you're watching this video long after it's been published, check the description because you might find it in there.
If you like this video, then check out this custom playlist I made on my most popular sprint training videos. And if you found this helpful or interesting, hit the like button for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.